P.S. The Dragon Bites. Shadeworld, Book 1. Written by K.G. Wilkie. Narrated by Nicholas Santasier. Chapter 1. A Game of Chess. "Did you hear?" the whispers began. "He found her. He found her." Some said the power was too great, and they were glad when it had been lost. Others laughed and smiled, and mused that it could be a good thing, a magical thing, to have it in their power once more. The chattering echoed through the corridors of the palace, and, if not for the magical wards on the imperial wing, their monarch would have long since lashed out to silence the gossips. A young woman in leathers and a scarlet tunic stood before the desk in the private office, tucked away behind the minor throne room, and neatly shut off all murmurs with the slam of the doors, which were sized for creatures more massive than all the courtesans' slight appearances belied. "You are sure of your information?" he asked her coldly. She was sweating. Failure meant punishment. A grievous punishment, as the standard of a swift death would not be severe enough to sate the appetite of their people for such an important reunion the nation had been yearning for these many years. She nodded silently, hands tightly grasped. "This will work for the best," he chuckled. He sprawled back in his chair, casual and comfortable like a lounging jungle cat. "The next step is finally here," he mused. He moved his rook on the marble board with those slim fingers. "Check," he grinned. The harpy next to him frowned at the board, then swiftly cut in her queen. He furrowed his brow. "That was a dirty move," he growled in disgust. She just shrugged and smirked at him. He stroked his beard, pondering his next move. The woman, still standing at attention, shuffled on her feet and wrung her hands behind her back. Both at the desk ignored her, but a cloud of smoke in the corner unfolded onto the floor like a giant paper doll and slowly moved upright. A slight breeze moved around her. Glimpses of a woman constantly shifted and peeked through rips in the paper that quickly healed and popped up elsewhere on the figure. "Your Majesty," the woman bowed to the apparition. "It is good that we rely on the info of the Amaryllis squad. Or should I call you one of the Red Guard assassins?" The woman blushed. "Both are accurate statements for all of our members, Your Majesty." The monarch humphed. "You may go tell the girl in charge of finding her," the queen said calmly. "Make sure no one alerts him to this development." She sighed, adding, "I dare say it was time for the next step anyways." She shooed the girl out, though the assassin looked at the king for confirmation, before bowing and leaving in a brilliant flash of light. "Such impertinence to ignore a queen, of all people," the woman huffed. He didn't bother to look up from his game to answer her. "Well, my dear, I'm afraid that's because you are queen of a small band of your own people, whereas I am king of the whole of the Shadeworld. You have to accept that if anyone outside your people chooses to acknowledge you, it is a mere courtesy for your position, and not because you have any widespread influence." He smiled at her, though it was a diplomatic smile that never reached his eyes, and something about the words were threatening, and declared her status as an underling. She looked up at him, eyes blazing. He looked back calmly. She growled, the sound coming low from her throat, even as her ire fed her breeze till she rippled like the fiercest gale. He growled back, sparks and flames whirling around him as he became clawed and furred like a mammoth caricature of a lion with scales wrapping around his core, and cut through his ruff like a lady's diadem. He roared at her. She looked down then, clearly having lost a fight for dominance. These little games were common in the gold-dipped walls of the capital, though few humans had ever lived to view the sight. "Do you think it was wise to let them play the game?" the harpy woman asked, knocking aside one of his pawns on the board. She had stayed relaxed and focused on the game through the exchange, but now she looked up at him. She dismissed the still indignant queen in the corner, and in a huff she finally left, so only the two players remained. "I suppose so," he returned. He finally moved his knight. She instantly moved her queen across the board to capture it. "He may have preferred to be informed of the situation. He's always had a bit of a sensitive constitution," she added. The king snorted. "Have you seen his lab?"
Sample complete. Ready to continue?